Alright, so now that we're on the resonant head, the resonant head is going to give us the most control of the pitch of the drum. So right, we were on the batter side, we played. It's not ideal sound yet, but that's what we're gonna do on the resonant head. So the resonant head, we can just have tons of control over the pitch of the drum, and it's very, very sensitive. So as we're tuning this guy up, we're kind of gonna do the same thing. We're gonna match the pitch. We're gonna start to tension it up equally. But I wanna show you guys just how little changes will really make a big impact on the sound of the drum. So I've got the snares lifted here by the drumstick, and we're just gonna go around again and just check the pitch at each of the lugs. So, you know, we're almost in tune with itself. That's kind of nice. So we're just going to start bringing the pitch up a little bit. So I'm just going to do like another 8th turn here. We're not going to do a whole bunch. And then we'll flip it over and I'll show you the changes we just made. And then we'll do it again as we kind of continue to walk up. Okay, so let's flip it over and we'll hear what it sounds like. So here's the drum now with the snares on. So that's not bad, but it's a little deep. It sounds a little deep for this drum. Most drums have kind of a sweet spot range, and you'll hear it once you're in it. It'll just sound like the best version of that drum, and we're just not there yet. So let's flip it back over. We're gonna raise it another 8th turn, and I'll show you what that sounds like. Alright, so here's the drum after we've made another 8th turn. So here, that already changed the pitch quite a bit. That's a 3rd or a 5th up now. And now we're kind of getting into like the lower end of that sweet spot. And if anything now, my batter head can probably come up a little bit. Because now I'm feeling it's not as responsive. So we're just gonna go another 8th turn up top. We're just doing minor changes now because we're kind of getting it dialed in. So I don't like to do anything too crazy at this point where we're doing a turn or anything. So yeah, now that we've just kind of raised up this batter head another 8th turn, we'll just check it. And that already starts to sound, you know, it's more live, it's a bit poppy. That's a decent sounding snare drum. We'll address the ring here in a second, but yeah, I think pitch wise, we could probably just come up a little bit. So we're gonna go now back down here, but we don't wanna go that 8th turn we've been doing because, you know, we've done so far just a 1/4 turn and we've heard it really come up. So I'm just gonna barely turn these and we should be about there. And again, where you tune the drum kind of depends on the style of music. If you're in the studio, it depends on the song. You know, what type of snare sound do you need? And sometimes you'll need to swap out the snare drum for that. You know, this is a maple snare, so it's got a unique sound. It won't sound like a birch snare or a metal snare even, you know. But so here's like a 1/16 of a turn. And let's see how this sounds. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So we're just listening for the pitch. We're not gonna worry about the ring right now. We're gonna address that in a second, but it feels great. You can drag on it. The snare or the stick responds back from the drum after striking. So it's not gonna like really fatigue you out from hitting like a brick wall. Yeah, I feel like this is great. Also, let's talk about the snares real quick. So, you know, we've got a throw over here. And I'll turn this around a little bit. Some drums, I've seen players have their drums actually tuned really well. But on the clutch, they're choking the drum out. So This is where I usually, on a snare, I like to just loosen them a lot, where it just, you know, it absolutely doesn't sound right now. But we're gonna tighten it up until there's a sweet spot. We don't wanna tighten too much, otherwise we'll kind of choke the drum, and I'll show you what that sounds like. So that's kind of ideal for me. I like it a little loose. I like the after sizzle going on. Again, it depends on what type of music you're playing, what type of feel. So let me show you what an over tightened one sounds like. We'll just keep tightening. So you hear that? Now we just like lost a lot of life because we just went too tight. Okay, so we're gonna loosen this back up. Get a little more of that sizzle back. All right, so that's kind of the basic how I tune a drum. Top head is all about the feel. So think about how you want the stick to respond. Do you want it, like we'll do a tom here in a second. Toms, for me, I really like it to dig in a little more, but a snare I don't. I want it to kind of pop back at me so I can do some drags and things like that. And then the resonant head is all about the pitch, and we'll kind of control that.